Geni Whitehouse, Geni, Whitehouse, Whitehouse, and we're in Napa, California.
Great. And if you could begin by saying something you're passionate about.
I'm passionate about giving people a voice.
Giving people a voice.
Yes.
And can you go into detail about how you incorporate that into your everyday life?
Yes, I'm a CPA and I work around people who are not known for their communication skills. So one of the things that I spend a lot of time on is helping those people understand how to translate their language so that everybody else can understand them. One of the problems you have if you can't communicate well is that people don't necessarily value what you do or what you know. So it's critical that you can translate so people can appreciate your brilliance.
That's great. That's great. And this might lead well into the next question, but what is something you're doing right now or in the past that you believe is making a difference?
Well, it's one of the reasons that I wrote a book. I wrote a book called How to Make a Boring Subject Interesting, 52 Ways Even a Nerd Can Be Heard, and it was specifically because of my experience with people in accounting and technology, people that have brilliant ideas, but they don't get heard because they don't know how to boil their message down so that it's easy enough for other people to understand. So it's driven me for a lot of years. Lots of different areas have been driven from that passion. I've been in technology and I've been in accounting, and in all of those fields I've been trying to find a way to help people tell stories.
That's great. And then also if you could talk about something that you're proud of, which might have already been mentioned.
I'm proud of the book, but I'm also really proud of my TEDx talk that I did, which was sort of my journey, how I got from being a CPA who sat in the back office and did taxes to somebody who's on stage talking about financial statements and nerdy stuff, but in a hopefully entertaining and interesting way. And I did a TEDx talk about really listening to your own inner voice, because I spent a lot of years trying to suppress that. And so I think the fact that I overcame the voice that told me I couldn't do things and finally started to do them is cool. It's exciting and it's fun, and it's really made me who I am today.
That's awesome. And now if you could talk about maybe a strength of yours that you think has carried you through some of those experiences.
I think it's just, I think it's a blind willingness to try things, which is, I don't know if it's a strength, it could be a weakness, but it's one of the things that I've had the good fortune to not know many times that I couldn't do something. So my own stupidity sometimes was my best trait, that I just didn't know any better and I just went ahead and tried things. Like I wrote a book and I published it myself, and I left accounting and went to a new field, and there were just things like I started my website. I didn't have any preconceived notions of what that should look like, so I just did what I thought, and that turned out to be kind of effective. I didn't try to make it better than it, make it too flashy or too professional or too canned or polished. I just spoke like I felt, and that actually worked. People liked that.
That's great.
Fun.
And if we could end by you saying a piece of advice that you like to live by that you'd want to share with others.
It has to be who you are. If you're not who you are, people will find that out. People relate to people who are open and honest and authentic. And if you try to be something you're not, you'll fail every time. Eventually it'll catch up with you. And it's not worth it. You're at your best when you're who you really are.